Good morning, evening, afternoon, or night, depending on when you're watching this. This is Jeff Clark, the Gadget Guy. Today is Tuesday, November 17th, 2009, which of course means it's time for another episode of Tech Tip Tuesday. Now, if you watched last week's Tech Tip, you know that my wife and I just spent the last week and a half down in Mexico for my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's wedding. Congratulations, Steve and Teresa, by the way. And while we were down there, one of the things that we just did was took a ton of photos. And so the first thing I did when I got back from Mexico was I plugged in my camera into the computer and I backed up all those photos onto the hard drive and so that we could see them on the computer and see all these memories. And as I was looking through these, I got to thinking and I got a little bit nervous, wondering what would happen if I lost all of these photos? What would happen if my computer crashed or if someone stole my computer? I'd be devastated because really, this was a once-in-a-lifetime event. And I know, I took 900 photos, but my brother-in-law, Steve, he took over 2,000 photos down there. And it got me to thinking about the very first podcast that I ever did, which was about backing up your computer. Now, I would normally try to point you to an old podcast. I hate to do something twice, but, well, that was my first one. It was 10 minutes long, and, well, frankly, I'm a little bit embarrassed about it. So instead, what I'd like to tell you a little bit about today are really two major solutions that I recommend for backing up your computer. The first one is this. Hard drives, the external hard drives that you can just plug into the USB port on your computer, they have really come down in price, and you get a tremendous amount of storage. You can pick up a 500 gigabyte external hard drive for between $50 to $70, but you can actually buy a 1 terabyte, which is 1,000 gigabytes. You're talking tens of thousands of photos. You can pick that up for just over $100. I know at Best Buy I just priced one for $109. I'm sure you could find it online for cheaper. But 1 terabyte, that's a ton of storage. And that's actually a good way, to back up your photos and your documents and your music and all that stuff. The only downside to that is that it's still in the same location your computer is. What would happen if someone actually stole that computer? They would potentially take the computer, they'd take the external hard drive, and now you've lost it anyway. There is an alternate solution. It's called off-site backup. And off-site backup simply means instead of storing it where you are, you're storing that information somewhere else. And in this case, I'm talking about the internet. And there are two real solutions that I've found online that are really the two top solutions. And the first one is a company called Carbonite, and their website is www.carbonite, CARBONITE.com. And the second one is a company called Mozy, and their website is www.mozy.com. And both of those, they do the same thing. They cost the same amount of money. But what they are is they're solutions. You download this little application to your computer, and it just runs in the background, which means you don't even see it happening. It's just running back there, and it's constantly taking your information, and it's uploading that to a secure server online. Now, Mozy and Carbonite these are solutions that large corporations are using in addition to just individuals. So they are very secure. You don't have to worry about them, looking at your information and all that. Carbonite and Mozy are two very reputable companies, so don't worry about your information. I know I'm going to get that call from Mom. Both of those solutions are $4.95 a month. You're talking about just over $1 a week to be able to back up everything on your computer. So, go to your couch cushions, dig around, find some loose change, and, back that stuff up. Because the nice thing is for $5 a month, you don't just get 500 gigabytes or you don't just get 1 terabyte. You actually get unlimited storage online. Now, there are a couple downsides to this, though. The first one is that it will only back up the stuff that you have on your primary hard drive. So anything that you're already storing on an external hard drive, it's not going to get that stuff. It's only going to get the stuff that you store on your main hard drive, which, let's face it, that's where most of our important information is anyway. So that's the first downside. The second downside is that anything you delete from your computer after 30 days is actually going to be deleted off the internet. So remember, this is online backup. It's not online storage. So anything you delete after 30 days will get deleted from their websites. So remember that. This is also a really good solution. Last week I talked about upgrading your computer to Windows 7, and I talked about that you should back up your important documents. Mozy's a good way to do that, or Carbonite's a good way to do that. So go check them out. Carbonite, CARBONITE.com, or Mozy, MOZY.com. And in fact, Mozy actually gives you 2 gigabytes completely free. There's no sign up, anything like that. You can store up to 2 gigabytes of stuff on there. So, that might be a good one to check out. That's the one I'm actually planning on installing on my computer tonight is Mozy. I've installed Carbonite in the past, and it's done a great job. And the nice thing, again, you don't even have to think about it. The initial setup is you just tell it, I want you to back up all my pictures, I want you to back up all my music, and I want you to back up all my documents. Now, it won't do applications, but it'll do the main stuff that's really going to be important to you. So go check them out, Carbonite and Mozy. I think they're going to be a really, really good solution for you. It's going to be a really great way to make sure you don't lose the really important stuff in your life. So I appreciate you guys watching. Once again, this is another episode of Tech Tip Tuesday in the can.